not rotate as much as the lower jaw will now. So all we need to do now is just figure out which ones we want to have parented to which, and of course we could weight it a little bit more or a little bit less. We could change the weighting on the constraints in different places to try and get a little bit different solution out of it. I'm going to try going right down to here with the next one, the one that's rotating. Oops, not that one there, but that one there. And I want to see how this looks. And it's a matter of fiddling around. Again, this is going to be different with every single character that you work on. And I'm going to go to the outside one with this and see how that works. And it's not getting a nicer spread out of everything. So you can see that the very center one here is moving 100% with it. I'm not sure that I quite like the way that some of these are moving. I might need to move a bit more with it. It might be a bit too even now for the mouth open. But what I think the best thing would do at this point would be to actually go in and weight the character up and make sure that it's actually looking the way we'd want for the skinning, and then we can go back and we can start tweaking some of the way it reacts. And one of the nice things about this is you can actually see that we're getting some sort of pulling already here on the bottom to give it to push the bottom out and make it feel like some of this fatty tissue here is actually expanding and whatnot. So that's kind of cool. It looks pretty good. It looks like it'll do what we want. It looks like getting some nice motion. Now this one here too looks like it probably needs to be parented in directly for the jaw, because really that should be a jaw movement still right there. But I'm going to connect it up to that one like the rest of that row is, and see how that works. And it seems to move fairly well. Now these ones I haven't, and that's going to be an interesting choice as to what we do with those. What we might want to do with those is, because this character has very little room here, and then any movement that happened down in the neck area would actually affect these. And you know, if you pushed his head down, it would sort of collapse some and move some of these. We might want to actually go in and do something with these controls for the very bottom of the sort of jaw area. I mean, you might want to actually parent those into something that is in the rig further. Maybe even maybe the neck joint. We'd have to we'll have to play around with it and see what it'll do for us. But that could be actually a better choice, because what you'd get is as the character's head moves, it'll actually stick that neck down a little bit more. So you can see it's pulling on it and helping it pull it out a little bit. And again, we could even base some of the others. We could actually base some of the rotations of these on that neck joint as well if we wanted to, and play around with that. So as the head tilts back, it helps stretch some of the jowls out a bit better. Maybe those bottom three stretched out a bit more. Or we could just simply connect these values up to the rotation of this object to get it to drive properly. But you can see it's actually sort of helping the stretch of the neck out and the collapsing of it. And with the collapsing of it, it'll help, because if it helps collapse it underneath here, we'll actually get a little bit more range of motion before we'll start getting you know, crushing happening. Now we have to be careful that we're not getting what we're getting right now. As you know, if you can see, we're actually, you know, because of the weighting of the character, it's pulling on it just far too much. But that's part of the tweak period, to sit there and play with this sort of thing and get the weights correct. So I'm going to go and finish the weighting, complete the weighting off. The weighting is done just as it was done in Pt.3, and the way we've looked at it already, just going in and painting weights and playing with it back and forth and trying to get some of the weights right. And with every character, that's going to be different. And it is really just more of a trial and error thing to see if you can get the right sort of feel going and the right amount of weighting to any given joint. So this character is actually complete with the rig. We'd have to set up pupils. Again, we can do it the way we've done it in the past on the last rig. And I'm just going to go and have a look.